I'm screen sharing. I think I'm doing 2 live videos for the first time ever. We'll see. Oops, that's not the right one. I'm screen sharing. Oh, I gotta turn that down. I think I'm doing 2 live videos for the first time ever. See. Where is that? Oops. Sorry. I'm screen sharing. Oh, I gotta turn that down. I'm making a loop right now. I'm just kidding. Okay. Oh, I don't have a camera on because I'm screen sharing. All right, so you guys can see my screen, hopefully. We're gonna watch a video, a couple of videos. So I'm gonna turn my volume back up. Hopefully we can hear it. Okay. I wanna talk about how the prophecies in the Bible, the visions that these prophets were given and they wrote down, we're living in those visions. Let's just watch, pay attention. Okay, this is a SpaceX launch that happened in, well, this is not the right date. It happened in August, but it doesn't really matter when it happened. But just pay attention to the plume that, just pay attention to the plume. We'll just watch it for a little bit here. Okay, now it's going to the first stage, or the main stage, or the first stage shut off, and then now it's going to fire up. But just pay, now that's the second stage firing up. And just pay attention to this.
Stage separation.
This guy's video is really good, by the way. I got a link to his channel in the description. Focus. Okay. See that plume? How in the center of the screen, see how wide it is there in comparison to how far the rocket has gone in that amount of time? The plume is going outward at the same speed as the rocket almost. Not really, but a fourth of the speed of the rocket. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going from where the camera is, it's going up and down, you know, away and towards, just about as fast as the rocket's going to the left, you know? Okay, now on the right, that is the second, or that's the booster doing its boost back burn or whatever, or yeah, there you go, right there. And then that's the moon, probably not much higher than them rockets. Okay, so let's just, oh, I got to get these. I should have gotten rid of those. Okay, now let's just do this. And then those are the fairings. Okay, so this launch happened, and I'm going to look into this. This must be when he uploaded it or something. Or no, this was the Iridium 4. Okay. Well, let's watch the August launch. I was thinking that this was the August one, but let's watch this one. This one is on some news channel. 3,000 subscribers. Oh, let me go back to the other one. Go to this guy's, whoops. Hey, guys. Awaken for Jesus. Fool me not. Elizabeth Collier. Let me go back to this one. Jim Mudgett. Go sub if you like this kind of stuff. I got a link in the description for all of these. For every single one of these tabs I have open, I have a link in the description of the YouTube video right now. So, and I'm going to move pretty fast through this stuff. I hope everything's working. I should probably check. I'm sure it is. Why don't we fall off? Yeah, good one. I know you better than that. Okay. Am I live on Facebook too? Hopefully. I don't even know where that is. Oh yeah, I'm screen sharing right there. I think. I don't know. Okay, let's go to this video and watch this.
My goodness.
Same thing, the second stage.
And now you'll see it continue to shine.
Fired up right there. See that?
It hits another thrust.
Now watch, the same thing's gonna happen. Well, it could be the same launch. I'm actually not sure. I thought it was until I saw that date on the top. See that? What's happening right there? That is biblical. That's what I'm gonna say. That's biblical. What's happening right there?
With its own mind, it's just shooting through the sky. This is absolutely incredible.
Reason why I'm showing this is because we're gonna read up just very quickly, go through each one of these things. We're gonna look at some laws and a bunch of stuff that we have a problem. Okay, let me just pause it right there. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Is like the distance from here to here, let's just say it was 10 miles, or I don't know, 5 miles, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Well, then this would have to be about 2.5 miles or something. Do you know what I'm saying? These plumes are going out very fast, in every direction as they're coming out of the rocket. And we kind of need to know that, why that's important. Let me just do this and see what, okay. All right. Now, I'm just going to work to the left and we'll just go through these. Okay, which one was this? Okay, this is nasa.gov. And this one, I think, was just a document that I didn't go through because it was so huge. NASA. There's, okay, we're just going to go to the next one. Okay, national, oh, that's the same one. Okay, here, National and Commercial Space Programs, Earth observations. Remote sensing or land remote sensing, like a rocket would have these things. Let's see here. I don't remember which one. We're going to look at probably both of them. Private remote sensing space systems, licensing. Okay. General licensing authority. Because this, what this is, oh, let's go back to conditions for operation. No person that is subject to the jurisdiction or control of the United States may directly or through any subsidiary or affiliate operate any private remote sensing space system without a license. That we'll find out is, for some reason, that's important. Okay, and then this was like, I don't even remember. There's a lot of links. We'll just keep going. The NOAA, this is what they tweeted one day. I think it was in March. Where was it? Yeah, March 30th. We are looking into questions on the broadcast interruption of this morning's SpaceX launch of Iridium 5. We will be in touch. Okay, they censored it. And the announcer on SpaceX said it and everything. And that's in one of these links too, right here. Okay. And I was actually watching this live, and I'm like, what did they just abruptly stop their whole thing, like right here. Oops, like right there. And then this guy comes on and he says that they lost their license, or they lost their license to broadcast any more of the mission or something like that. On Friday morning, SpaceX launched their rocket, deployed 10 Iridium satellites. Okay. I think it's only an error. I don't think it's an error. We're moving to the next link. I don't want this video to be forever long because I'm putting all the links and you guys can dig deep if you want. Okay, this is Skylab. This is something that we will get. We're not going to go through it later, but when Skylab, this is 1975, when Skylab launched, that's like similar to the space station. It was really different than the space station, but okay, that launched, and when that launched, it launched on Atlas V, and a sudden vanishing of the ionospheric F region due to the launch of Skylab. Now, this was over Antarctica, they say. Let's see, where is this? I don't know where this is. Greenland, Kennedy Space Center down in Florida here. So this is the path of the Atlas V that brought Skylab up there. Wouldn't it be going this way? I'm just kidding. Okay, so the reason why we know, okay, this is Skylab, a link to nasa.gov Skylab info. What is this here? Okay, sounding rockets, explosive shells, pound ionosphere, 1970 to 1975, 72. So this is not new stuff. Let's see here. NASA Skylab launch knocks out radio communication over the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll find out that there is a connection between rocket launches and like the I don't know if it's a sound wave or what it is, but the sends out waves, and I think that's what we're seeing in that plume going out in every direction so fast. What that is doing is it's ripping a hole in whatever they're measuring. I'm not trying to be a professional about the ionosphere at all. I don't have to be. But what they're doing is damage. Now, they don't think the same way I think, all these scientists. They think there's some outer space up there. Well, let me play something from Enoch real quick, just because I just brought this subject up. I'm thinking it's something more like above us, that there's some devils that are playing tricks on even NASA.
And beyond this chasm I saw
this is Enoch,
and it had neither the sky above it nor the foundation of earth below it. There was no water on it and no birds, but it was a desert place. And a terrible thing I saw there, 7 stars like great burning mountains. And like a spirit questioning me, the angel said, "This is the place of the end of heaven and earth. This is the prison for the stars of heaven and the host of heaven. And the stars which roll over the fire, these are the ones which transgressed the command of the Lord from the beginning of their rising, because they did not come out at their proper times. And he was angry with them and bound them until the time of the consummation of their sin in the year of mystery." And Uriel said to me, "The spirits of the angels who were promiscuous with women will stand here, and they, assuming many forms, made men unclean, and will..."
Assuming many forms, they were bound because they transgressed their order. So we have 7 planets that are on a completely different course than all the other stars. And that is, whether you're a flat earther or you believe in a globe, that's true for both of you. Okay. The 7 planets or whatever are on a different course than every other star. But I wanted to stop it there because he just said, assuming many forms, men are made men made men unclean and will lead men astray. So they sacrifice to demons as gods. What are the planets named? Okay, I'm going off on a side thing, but what are the planets named? They're all named after false gods. Okay, let's listen a little bit more.
Will lead men astray so that they sacrifice to demons as gods. And they will stand there until the great judgment, on which they will be judged, so that an end will be made of them and their wives, having led astray the angels of heaven.
Okay, I know how the end is going to be made of them because the Bible tells us that. The Bible in Revelation 18, it tells us that in 18 verse 2, it tells us that Babylon is a habitation, a hold, a cage for evil spirits, devils, and unclean and hateful birds or whatever. It's a prison. Babylon is a prison for fallen angels. So that's a side note. Let's get back to this though. Okay, so these things, there's actually right here, we're gonna go, there's actually like people against this, like Iridium and all of that, the worldwide Wi-Fi. So let's see here. There's so many articles here, but I lost my place. Where were we? Okay, this one is pollution of upper atmosphere by rockets. I didn't look through all this stuff, but okay, this is boring. Why did I have this? Okay, I'm not going to waste time. What happened during the SpaceX launch? Rather than fighting the force of gravity to fly straight up into the sky, rockets normally take, this is from Fortune, I don't know any of these reputable or not, I don't know. But take a curved trajectory and travel nearly parallel to the planet's surface. How do they do that without going 8 inches per mile squared? Well, plus a little, I guess a little bit less than that if you got altitude. Makes no sense. So it can get going faster so it can bash through the firmament or whatever, bash into Babylon. Okay. Flew in August. Yeah. Let's just click this and see what happens. Almost set. Is this the one that they ended? No. Okay. This is the one that we watched, or one of the ones we watched. In fact, I don't know. They're not going to show it. It'll just be all CGI on here, right? Yeah. Whatever this is. If it's real, it's not very real. All right. So let's go to the next one. Elon Musk, SpaceX. This is March of this year. Ripped a 559-mile hole in the atmosphere. Blasted a giant hole in the atmosphere and may have impaired GPS satellites. So what I want to do is, this is just in the back of my mind. I'm just putting it out there. I should find it. Let's see. Okay, it's going to be worth finding. CRS mission patch. I have it on my other computer, but just go to images. Looking for a purple one. Or wait, no, it's Cygnus. Sorry. I just got to put Cygnus in there. Right here. Okay, this really gave me an idea. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, what is this? This is a NASA orbital ATK. That's for commercial resupply. That's a NASA gig that resupplies the space station. Dragon does it pretty much, primarily all of it. Orbital ATK Cygnus does a little bit. And look what they have for the mission patch. It's an octopus holding satellites. Okay, that is so much what I believe that is happening. Because we do have a lot of people, I'm sure, I mean, I haven't, engaged in a lot of this, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that spend their entire lifetime building these things, or building rocket engines and all these things. There's a lot of people involved in putting a rocket up in the air. So anyway, I lost my place again. We were there. Okay. I'm just kind of scouring over these. All right. This one is space weather. Gigantic circular shock acoustic waves. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know all the fancy lingo. Triggered by launch of Formosat 5 satellite. So think of the ozone layer, anytime it gets a hole in it, we have GPS issues, like inaccuracies, and we have what was that other thing that it said in the Atlantic? I can't remember exactly what it was, but we have problems with communication satellites and things. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if that's a prison that they are breaking into up there, that's just a dangerous thing that they're doing. And we're going to go look at the Bible, and we're going to watch a little part of my video. I think we should do that after we go through these SpaceX links. So don't let me forget. I'm not paying attention to the chat because otherwise I'd never get through this. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This was the day after. Yeah, the day after Trump announced Space Force and said, we're giving the private sector space companies NASA's platform. So, and that's just basically Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is the boss of NASA now. That's interesting. Well, he has federal use of NASA facilities. That's in the site of the first beast. Okay. And we can go over that, but I do videos on that all the time. So next one, or let's just watch this for a second. Or I don't know if I should. I don't want to get any kind of, who knows. Okay, now, okay, GOES S mission. Where was this? March 1st, 2018. This was the one that NOAA, so it's their own satellite. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense, doesn't it? Or no, this wasn't SpaceX, was it? This wasn't SpaceX. Okay, never mind. That's an Atlas V. Boring. Roars into orbit. Wow, someone else got a rocket up. I'm just kidding. Okay. What impact might... Oh, yeah, I never finished saying... They got a contract, right? Where was that? They got a contract with the Air Force to launch Falcon Heavy twice, I think. But 130 million or something. The day after Space Force, it was interesting to me. Okay, we were here. Have on the atmosphere. What impact might SpaceX's Falcon Heavy program have on the atmosphere? Okay, the Tesla Roadster. That's another biblical thing, okay? If it were possible, and it's not, to put a car in space. It's not. You can't do that. Like, go take 2 5-gallon buckets full of water and just lift them. Yeah, we can lift things up in the air, but if rockets didn't exist, space wouldn't exist. Okay? It's a trick that they're playing on us. But the Tesla Roadster, I believe that's just an, might as well, he should have painted it bronze and just wrote, idol on it. To idol standing in God's sanctuary, God's tabernacle, or that's what the world believes. The flat earthers don't believe it for a second because they know in their hearts that it's a deception. That is something that even the flat earthers are slow to realize, I think. But okay, anyway, let's keep going. Damage. This is National Geographic. Plumes from rocket launches could be the world's next worrisome emissions. Solar rays. Okay. Tore a hole in the atmosphere. Fortune. Maybe we already looked at that one. Dirty rockets. Slate.com. What a joke. See, it's always a cartoon. Always. All right. Let's get into some good stuff now. Radio frequency allocation. Application to Federal Communications Commission to the extent required by the Communications Act of 1934. So this is old. Development. Okay, what was that? Why did I have that highlighted? Landsat program management. Okay, we're not going to waste too much time. I thought that was maybe. You guys can look at all these links, but there's a lot. What was it over here? You could spend hours in here on this stuff, but basically, anybody that goes to space, the NOAA can classify anything they want. It's a joke. So, like, they just cut, and I don't know. Whoops, I don't want to do this. No. Okay. I have no idea where we were. Okay, let's see. 10 satellites in orbit today. March 30th. That was the launch that they cut off. You can't watch the entire launch. You know what? Let's go to it and we'll listen to what that guy says when they cut him off. How's that? Ooh, volume. Ooh, is this going to work?
The second stage completing its first burn. And we'll make sure that the burn is good.
Western range assets expected.
Yes, you go.
We just got confirmation that the second engine cutoff event occurred. We'll make sure that we are in the correct orbit.
He looks a little nervous, doesn't he?
Stage 2 nominal insertion.
And we're getting confirmation that we did in fact get into the correct parking orbit. So though we're ending our live coverage now due to restrictions from NOAA, the mission is not yet over, so we'll be continuing to cover the upcoming major milestones on Twitter. That includes the 4-second engine burn and the 10 satellite deployments, starting about 40 minutes from now. So overall, we've had an on-time launch. The first stage successfully got the second stage out of the atmosphere, and the second stage is continuing on its trajectory in a coast phase now to get the Iridium NEXT satellites into their constellation. So thanks to the Iridium NEXT customer, Air Force for range support, and the FAA for launch license, and see you online for the rest of the mission.
Hey, yeah. On Twitter, we can watch from Twitter. Whatever. Okay, NOAA. The National Commercial Space Program Act requires a commercial remote sensing license for companies having the capability or the capacity to take an image of Earth while in orbit. Why would that be? Why would they need a license or whatever? Commercial remote sensing license. Okay. Now that launch companies are putting video cameras on stage 2 rockets that reach, this is Elon here too, that reach an on-orbit status, all such launches will be held to requirements of the law and its conditions. SpaceX applied and received a license from NOAA that decided, as in the days of NOAA, you guys, to live stream from space. Conditions on Earth imaging to protect national security are common to all licenses for launches with on-orbit capabilities. Keep in mind that NASA can't put an astronaut in space since 2011. I love saying that because it's true. Okay. The National Commercial Space. Okay, that's what we just read. All right. Potential climate impact of black carbon emitted by rockets. This is whatever this place is. Okay. You can read that if you want. Limits on the space launch market related to stratospheric ozone depletion. So, like, I don't know what the ozone crap is, and I don't really care. But just the fact that they talk about this, and they have been talking about this in the atmosphere and the ionosphere and whatever for a long time. It's not something completely made up. Okay, let's see here. All right. Ozone loss. Now, let's talk. Now we're going to talk about why I'm saying all this stuff is in the Bible, in the prophets and everything. Because SpaceX just tells us straight up. Let's quickly go to About SpaceX. They design, manufacture, and launch advanced rockets and spacecraft. Founded in 2002 to revolutionize space technology with the ultimate goal of enabling people to live on other planets. Okay, remember what Enoch was saying, you guys? Keep that in mind. Let's see here. I don't know if I'll find it. There's something where Elon is talking, and what he's saying is he wants the future, advancing the future, to be living among the stars. But whatever. Let's go back to Dragon. Okay, first private spacecraft to the space station. Dragon gives the space station its cargo and resupplies it. Okay. So, you know what we're going to do first? Or no, we got to go through this a little bit. Okay, so the Falcon 9 rocket should be right here. No, that's Falcon Heavy. Oops. Okay, making life multiplanetary. This is what I was talking about. I think it's at the very bottom. I should have had this ready. Sorry. Okay. Oh, yeah. Look at this. He's talking about flying the BFR rocket instead of like airlines. What a kook. I mean, yeah. That's what they're doing right now. See how flat it is? Earth, flat. It's not a globe, and they don't go around any globe. That's the deception. That's what the fallen angels are tricking NASA into thinking. And that's why I think that astronauts like Jeff Williams, and why these people can come back and do interviews and they're cool as ever. They're not lying. I've come to that conclusion. They are not lying. They are being sent strong delusion, very strong delusion, like very strong delusion. Okay. Oh, is it right here? Maybe this is Elon right here. You want to wake up in the morning and think the future is going to be great. And that's what being a spacefaring civilization is all about. It's about believing in the future and thinking that the future will be better than the past. And I can't think of anything more exciting than going out there and being among the stars. Let me read a verse to you guys. Okay. What he just said, I can't think of anything more exciting than going out there and being among the stars. One of my most respected prophets in the Bible, named Isaiah, told us what Satan wants in his heart. I'm not saying Elon Musk is Satan. I think that he is a different character in the Bible. But let's see here. How art thou fallen? This is Isaiah 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. And then there's a YouTube channel out there that has one of my favorite verses for their title, or not one of my favorite verses, but a verse that speaks to this is Obadiah 1 verse 4. And it's got some, although, what is it? Thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. That was off the top of my head, so it might be a little bit off. Okay, back to Isaiah. Yeah. So he just told us that Satan says in his heart he wants to ascend above the heights of the clouds. He wants to exalt his throne above the stars of God. Okay, where are the stars of God? They're in the firmament of heaven, right? So what's above the firmament of heaven? That's where God is. That's heaven, or that's where God's throne is. So, all right, let's see here. We got to watch this Daniel video. Where did I put that? Right here? Nope, that's it. Okay. This is a video I made a little while ago. I just re-uploaded it. But okay, before I start it, the word ram in Hebrew. So like when Daniel had a vision, he said he saw a ram standing by the river. Well, the word he used was A-Y-I-L, and this is Strong's meaning of it. Mighty man, lintel, oak, post, ram, tree. Okay, it can also be a ram from his strength, a pilaster, a strong support, an oak or a strong tree, mighty man, lintel, oak, post, ram, tree. Okay, can we everybody get real and just think about a rocket? Okay, so, and listen carefully to okay, if I tell you to, if I say, oh, look down, are you going to look up at the sky? No, you would look down at the ground. So it kind of bothers me that people can't even realize what a word means. A simple word like lift it up or phrases or whatever. It's too much. These words have meaning. So this is very important for this vision that Daniel has. So I'm just going to play it and we'll see how it goes.
And I was by the river of Ulai. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold.
Hold on, I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Sorry.
There stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beasts might stand before him.
That's the Falcon 9.
Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will, and became great. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth.
That's the new dragon
Touched
too.
not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen
sits
standing
right up
before
here.
the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power.
There it
And I
is
saw
right
him
there.
come close unto the ram. And he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him. And there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
The Super
And out of one of
Dracos.
them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east,
And then the
and
last
toward the pleasant
separation.
land. And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them.
I have a challenge for, okay, I'm turning all these screen shares off. I got to talk to you guys. I got to figure out how though. Let's see. Hey, there's somebody here. That's nice. Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know what I'm doing here. Hey, there's people on Facebook too. Cool. How do I turn the screen share off? Maybe I have to end the live video? No way. Hey, I just seen Justin Best somewhere. Okay. I'm going back to here. No, here. Okay, I'm just going to start closing these because I don't know. All right. Oh, I know where I need to go. Down here to here. And, oh, there we go. Stop. Sweet. Okay, that worked. Now I got to go and get Facebook. Or no, Facebook sees this now, right? That'll work. Who knows? It'll work. Okay. You guys, did you see the video that, and did you hear the words Daniel was saying there? He saw a he-goat. Okay. He was probably not talking about an animal because it flew. Well, it when he first saw it, I got to go turn there because I got to go over this really quick because this is just a 4-year-old child, I think, would understand it quicker than an adult would, just because of the simplicity of this vision. And then, I mean, now that we have rockets is what I'm saying. And now that Falcon Heavy is there. Okay, in Daniel 7, he describes these beasts. He sees one that had 10 horns. And then right after that, he considered the horns, and there came up another one, another little horn. Okay, so he's seeing these horns. And then he says, it says these great beasts are 4 kings, and the 4th beast is the 4th kingdom upon the earth. The 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise. What does it mean to arise? Does that mean like go down? No, it means to go up. So in Daniel 8, verse 3 is kind of where we started. It says, then I lifted up mine eyes. Well, actually, we got to go back a little bit. He was by the river Ulai. And then I lifted up mine eyes and saw. So that means he was actually literally looking up like this. So whatever was up there is what he saw, because he lifted his eyes to see it. That means there's no other way to describe it other than looking above your head. If you're looking below your eye level, you're never going to say, I lifted my eyes, unless you were already looking down at the ground and you lifted your eyes. Okay. Let's see here. Where was I? Okay. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, that means visually, and behold, that means visually, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns. So what if we used one of those meanings of that word that was like post or a strong support or a mighty oak tree or whatever, something tall like that, okay? Because he had to lift his eyes. I just want to analyze this section right here because Daniel saw Falcon Heavy launch. He saw it. Now, I think he saw I literally think he saw the animation, all the animations that SpaceX made because of the way that he describes it. But so let's see here. Verse 5, and as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground. How many he-goats go across the earth without touching the ground? I don't think any do, but let's keep going. To me, this is obvious, but I'm not trying to be impatient. And touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. Okay. If I had a notable horn between my eyes, it would be like right here, right? Or like right here or something. It would be anywhere in between my eyes, I think. And he came to the ram, which had the 2 horns. The ram that had the 2 horns, actually, let's see here. The ram that had the 2 horns, right here. Remember the ram? That tall tree or that tall support or that tall, strong, mighty man or mighty oak tree? It had 2 horns. And Daniel described the horns. He said, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high. Remember, he had to lift his eyes? Okay, now listen to this part. But one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. Well, that describes this, right? Good. It also describes something else. It also describes how the Falcon Heavy launches, because you have 3 Falcon 9 boosters or 3 rams, and the 2 on the side get kicked off first, and the taller one comes up last. It's crazy. It just matches. So the thing that I'm not going to go through all these verses, and I encourage you to do it though, because of what it says ending up happening in the end. We're talking about the host of heaven, and there's no doubt about that. That's what Daniel's describing. Therefore, the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. The stage separation, we watched the Falcon 9, the one with the lit up plume. Both of those, we watched the stage separation and the second stage starting up. And then that was one of those launches that they censored. Okay. Verse 10 in Daniel 8. And it waxed great even to the host of heaven. Where's the host of heaven? I mean, is that up there? I'm assuming that it's up there. And Enoch just mentioned the host of heaven too, but let's see here. And it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host. Who's the prince of the host? I think that's Michael. I think that's an angel, like in charge of the host. And actually, Enoch, right there, Enoch 20, verse 5. Michael, one of the holy angels, namely the one put in charge of the best part of humankind, in charge of the nation. Okay. So anyway, Daniel 8, verses 1 through 10, to me, describe. Let's read further, because this is why flat earth is important. This is why flat earth came. Okay, yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host. And that's in Revelation 12 too. There's a battle. Michael and his angels are fighting with, is it Michael or Gabriel? It's Michael, right? I think it's Michael. So that's what's happening, is this battle is happening right now. And actually, we have proof that this battle is happening right now. And I say the proof is flat earth. 3 years. Flat earth? Come on. Of course it's flat. You guys don't even get what I'm saying, do you? And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered. Okay. And the great dragon was cast out, and that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, right now deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And that, I believe that happened when he magnified himself even to the prince of the host. And it says, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. Like God's sanctuary. And I don't know if it's necessarily like meaning physical, because it's in our foreheads. It's just what we believe. It's what abides in us. If we have the word of God and his creation abiding in us, then when we wake up in the morning, I don't know how it works, but this vision is saying for 2,300 days, God doesn't get any glory because of this guy standing putting his idol in the holy place, his little Tesla Roadster. It causes desolation in people's soul. I mean, it's bad. So what these are is these are spirits of old. They're spirits of fallen angels manifesting out of their prison on Falcon 9 boosters. This is what I believe, on Falcon 9 boosters, and however they come into our world that way. Since December 25th or 21st, 2015, SpaceX has been landing their Falcon 9 booster. That's in Revelation 13, verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. That's a very specific thing. So if it's not Elon Musk, it's someone that is going to do exactly what Elon Musk is doing. Okay. And in Daniel, he's got a mouth that speaks great things, and he has little horns, 10 of them. And they made 10 Dragon version 1 capsules. Then they started making that Dragon 2, the one that Daniel called a he-goat. But, okay. So then Space Force comes into it, but that's Okay. Space Force just gives their NASA's platform over to private sector. So Elon Musk has the keys. Now, and this is Revelation 13, verse 15. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. What if it causing it to, or that it should speak? What if that just means creating like a space force, like of people? I speak, you know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there. I don't know. But we need to know, this is something that I know what's happening. There's a beast that the world is worshiping, and dragon, we just were on that site. Dragon gives it its power and its seat and great authority. And yeah, Revelation 13:11, he sees another beast come up out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spake as a dragon. And in Revelation 13, verse 2, and the dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. Dragon goes up and resupplies the International Space Station. Okay, 10 horns. But what's important to know about that is that I'm noticing everybody's always talking about the Vatican and about, I don't think these people, like, there's evil in this world, like sick, evil, and against God. And I'm not in any way encouraging these things I'm talking about, but that's not our enemy, is not mankind. Okay, your fellow man has a heart like you do, and they believe that they're doing the right thing. That's what's messed up. And what I call that is, I'll use myself as an example. I'm learning these last 3 years, I'm learning how wicked my heart is, or was. That's why that's why I'm washed in the blood of the Lamb, because he's changing, taking and showing me my wickedness and reproving me and correcting me privately. And that's something that the people that think the Bible is a joke, they're missing out on the most amazing thing. But the kings, these horns, okay? Both John and Daniel were talking about these horns, and Daniel, we just read about one where Daniel saw it go up, and it went up to the host of heaven, and it cast some of the host, whatever this means, I don't know, cast some of the host and of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them. Daniel saw this, okay? John, and they were interpreted and called kings and kingdoms. SpaceX, I believe, is the 4th kingdom. That's dreadful and terrible. We're not, okay, the governments of the world are involved on a level that they're unaware of. When Trump announces Space Force, he can't see the things that those of us who have new eyes can see. These things weren't a problem for us a few years ago, When we just started seeing these things, like with 9/11, we're like, what? There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Okay. Let's talk about these kings, or these horns. Okay, so John, same thing. He sees that beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns. And that beast, he sees it in the spirit in a wilderness. Well, Enoch's talking about a wilderness too, where there's no water and it was like a desert. Okay. This is where John sees in Revelation 17. This is where he sees, and the woman was arrayed in purple, and let's see. I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. Okay, so when he saw that, it says, I wondered with great admiration. So whatever it was, he was like jaw dropped like that. Okay. And the angel said to him, and I've looked this up in the Greek, and the way that Bible Hub has it, it says, because you marveled or because you wondered, I'm going to show you the mystery. So like John did something wrong there. And this actually acts as a proof that okay, I'm not going to get into that. That would be too much. There's two groups of people in the world right now, and they're different kinds of people from each other. But there's both saved people in both of these groups. There's people that are going to go to heaven and come back. And then there's people that are going to stay here. Lots of saved people, Christians. Okay. That's just the way that it ends up in this book. But I'm not going to go into that subject. Okay. This beast. Okay. So he says, I'm going to show you the mystery because he marveled at it, or because he wondered at it. He says, the beast that thou sawest was and is not. I mean, whatever that means. Was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. Now listen to this part carefully. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, just like John did. I wondered with great admiration, just 2 verses before that. They shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is, when they see it. That's what that means. So what's the biggest argument that someone that's really rooting for the sphere globe, what's their biggest proof? ISS. You can see it with your own eye. Well, look, it's going over right now. See it? That's in Revelation 11. That's the beast making war with the 2 witnesses and killing them. Okay, so the book of life from the foundation of the world, I think that only has the names of the children of Israel that were sealed in their forehead. That's that book, because they're from, literally, I'm learning all this, and they're from the foundation of the world. Now, the people that wonder, it's because they're not able to, they don't have the faith quite to believe what's in here. And they don't have it abiding in their heart yet. They will. Many of them will, because of what Elon's doing. Let's read about it. Okay. The 7 mountains, I don't want to try to explain that, because that you have to know about the Russian Soyuz, and you have to know about China can't dock to the ISS, but only Russia can right now, and Dragon will be in August, supposedly, for a test run. So that's the one that must come, and he must continue short space. The beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. Okay. Verse 12 in Revelation 17. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. Same thing that Daniel, the interpretation Daniel was given. These great beasts, which are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth. Okay. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Okay, these capsules, Dragon, Cygnus, they and Progress and Soyuz, there's 4 of them. And if you read Daniel 7 verse 6, it's the same beast. Daniel just describes a different thing on it. And in Daniel, it was given dominion. Okay. That's Daniel 7 verse 6. Now, okay, let's keep reading. Verse 13, these have one mind. It's still talking about the horns. These 10 horns are 10 kings. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Dragon gives the beast its power, seat, and great authority. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Same thing happens in Daniel 7. The saints of the Most High take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. Who do they take it from? They take it from that mouth that speaks great things, that has the 10 horns, that beast, that fourth beast, the fourth kingdom. Dreadful and terrible, okay? The 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them. He shall be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings. We watched the animation of Falcon Heavy. It subdued 3 rams, or whatever Daniel was using for the... It's like a cartoon in my mind, I guess. Okay, but really, it's child stuff. It's not something hard to understand because it literally lays it out for us. Okay, the waters. Okay, and the 10 horns. This is verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Remember, Enoch was saying that there's 7. What is it? 7 burning mountains, or 7 stars, angels, fallen angels that transgress. And I'm just going to read, what does it say here? This place is the prison of the angels, and there they will be held forever. That's Enoch 21, verse 10. Okay. And then Revelation 18:2 says, I'll just read it. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, the hold of every false spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So in the way I like to say this is that Enoch was not around at all at the time when John wrote Revelation. I'm sure John was aware of Enoch's writings, but I don't think that they may have connected this. John might not have connected what this was, even though he wrote this. It has become a habitation of devils. This place is the prison of the angels, where they will be held forever. That's crazy. Okay, so, verse 16. These shall hate the whore, these 10 horns shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Think of that plume when that second stage goes, and it's like, it doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right. And let's see here. Okay. One thing for all the people preaching truth. Here's a verse that I always like to read every once in a while. Revelation 18, verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. Babylon. Okay. There's a bunch of virgins in the world right now, not sexually. They're virgins because they're not drunk off the wine of Babylon's fornication. Okay. The ISS and whatever's going on in that world, in that prison, I'm believing there's a prison between us and the stars of heaven. There's a hold there where those 7 planets are. That's my belief. And it's a fairly new belief that I have, but I don't just say these things. I mean, I've looked at this Enoch and 2nd Esdras and every book in the Bible, and like Isaiah's been helpful. Jeremiah is the one that tells us it's the spirits. Otherwise, well, and Daniel too. Daniel said it's the spirits of, or the ram which thou sawest is the kings of Media and Persia. Right here in Jeremiah 51:11, make bright the arrows, gather the shield. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes for his device against Babylon, to destroy it. Okay, so when Babylon's destroyed, that's when the stars fall. Those 7 stars. Oh, yeah, Revelation 8, verse 8. Okay. Enoch called them 7 burning mountains of fire, or 7 mountains of fire, or something like that. Burning mountains of fire. Revelation 8, John saw something very interesting. Revelation 8, verse 8. And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And a third part of the trees, or I just totally skipped, I'd lost my place. And a third part of the sea became blood. A third part of the ships were destroyed. And a third part of the creatures in the sea that had life died. So that day's coming. I don't know where it lies in all this, but these things are starting to make a lot of sense in this book. So these horns, these 10 horns, right now, the world believes, Wikipedia believes that last Thursday morning at 5:10 or something, 5:45, or I don't know when it was, 5 something in the morning, SpaceX launched a Dragon capsule for like the 15th or 16th time up to the space station. They only built 10. So now they're reusing them. They're reusing these horns. They made 10 of them, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. We're watching it. We're watching it with our eyes, and we need to realize it. I mean, look at the sky. Look at what we're being tricked by devils or fallen angels, I should say. And I think they're coming down here and deceiving, and I don't know if they're here. I really don't know how that works, but I do know that this stuff's being revealed by God to a lot of his servants. So if you have a heart to serve God, get in your Bible and just let him lead you to where he leads you, and he'll start showing you things that you never thought you would ever know. You just, I mean, look at all the things that I'm bringing up, and this is just like brief, but I'm saying as far as like the horns and the kings and arising out of the earth, lifting up from the earth, coming up out of the earth, these 4 kings shall arise out of the earth. He shall subdue 3 kings. Okay. So all this stuff that's happening, there's a reason why it's happening. And the reason why it's happening is to destroy Babylon. It's God put it in their hearts. Like, I don't know how that works. I'm not trying to, but God, it says in 17, for God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest, the one that is Babylon in that wilderness, is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. That's space. Space reigns over the kings of the earth. Think about it. And her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Rob Skiba was on Parable of the Vineyard and was talking about what was he talking about? I just had a mind block. The things that those guys were talking about are happening. They are happening. Like, I mean, literally just the words that I read, I don't even know how. I know that it's a supernatural thing that either keeps someone from seeing some of these things or shows these things to someone clearly, because I see two extreme reactions to this type of information. This book is telling it all. It's telling about the space shuttle program. Want me to read you a verse, just what Daniel saw? And yeah, it is a king or a kingdom. That's what it's called, but that doesn't mean it's a man, because listen to what it does. Daniel 7 verse 4, or I'll read 3. Four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. That means they were all different. So he goes and describes them all specifically different from each other. The first was like a lion, and it had eagle's wings. I think the shuttle, but I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked. Shuttle was retired in 2011. It was made, and it was lifted up from the earth. I'm lifting my coffee right now up from my desk. Now I'm setting it down. Okay, there's a difference. And it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man. Think of the shuttle launched. It launched like this, right? And a man's heart was given to it. Astronauts, I don't know. But these beasts, they're all very, the second one he sees had the feet of a bear. Or no, it was like to a bear. I'm thinking of Revelation. The beast that has the feet of a bear in Revelation 13 verse 2, that's the ISS. The only way to get to the ISS, well, on the books, I mean, the mainstream story. People get confused and think I'm like preaching that I believe all this is real and everything. No, it's a deception. Yeah. It's the truth, and we're like close. I'm just going to stop all these cool live things I have going, but we're close. And I'm only saying that because it's been a long time that I've been understanding this stuff. It was like a year ago, May. So whatever that is, a year and a couple of months ago, I made a video called The Revelation of Jesus Christ in 2017. That's what the title was. Look it up. Watch it. It says all this stuff about Elon Musk and Falcon Heavy and everything. And I didn't really know what any of it was for, but it comes to Babylon, and it comes to, now I understand where Babylon is and what is going to happen when Babylon falls. And I think this video is probably enough to give someone an idea or whatever. But alrighty, I hope you guys got something out of it. There's a ton of links. I'll put them on the Facebook. On this Facebook post, I'll post them, but there's like 20 links to all these things that we looked at. Love you guys.